Hello, can you hear me?
We are live now on the show today, so it's a delight to have you all on the call today.
Hello, Emeka.
All right, warm welcome everybody to March 2026 Future-Proof Mentorship Initiative webinar. And this time we are bringing a very important conversation your way. Amazing stuff. Today we are talking about stock markets and money market, and of course, how all this connect to the future. I'm so excited to be here today. I hope that you are as excited as I am here today. And here today we have Mr. Chukwudi Nwachukwu, who's going to be taking us through the very basics of stock investing and of course a head start on money market. And for us to have a wonderful time here today, we have a bit of housekeeping rules. Okay, so to ensure that we enjoy our engagement here today across Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, please, I would like us to take note of the following. I would like us to be respectful in our engagement with the speakers and with fellow participants or fellow viewers across platforms. And you can you can rest assured that diverse opinions are welcome. We listen, we don't judge on this space. And in the aspect of making your comment or asking question, we want to plead that you keep your comment and questions relevant to the topic of today. And of course, everybody likes the conversation around money, so yeah, just keep it on topic. And also ensure that you use the chat wisely. I usually tell the story of how I met someone who has been of massive impact in my life via YouTube comments. So I would like to say use the chat wisely. Drop your questions in the chat. They will be addressed during the designated Q&A segment of the program. And of course, you can also go ahead and make connections on the chat box. And also you have to keep in mind that there are no spams or promotions on the chat box, right? Avoid unsolicited links, ads, or self-promotion during the session. We have a community where we can always connect at a professional level, but here, just keep it as much as possible, sane down there. Now, be patient. Due to multiple streaming platforms, we might have slight delays in responding to your inquiry. So please stay patient. We're going to address every one of your concerns. And of course, protect your privacy. Do not share sensitive personal information in the chat. That's on period. And engage actively. Please like, comment, and share the session to help others benefit. And at this point, I want to say, if you know anyone who can benefit here, who to whom this webinar today is going to be relevant, I want to plead that it might be your community, it might be your colleagues, it might be your friends. Please do well to take this link, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, on LinkedIn. Please copy the link and send to them. You might be saving them stress of a lifetime. You might be giving them what we call in the Future-Proof Mentorship Initiative up to date update. Right. So let me know who we have in the comment. We want to see who do we have here, who do we have in the room this morning. So please use the chat box of wherever platform you're watching from. Tell us your name and where you're watching from in the comments. And of course, use an emoji to show how you feel right now about this session today. All right. And I just want to show you who we are in quick words. We want to show you who we are in quick words. So we are Future-Proof Mentorship Initiative, and this was founded in 2022 out of a felt need. So, and we are a non-profit organization that is committed to bridging the gap between opportunities and youths who need these opportunities, right? So we realize that there are so many gaps in opportunities and all among young persons. I mean, even when they have the relevant skills, but they don't have access to these opportunities, Future-Proof was built to bridge that gap between young persons and opportunities. I mean, we call it democratizing opportunities among youths who need them, and of course, providing the capacity trainings needed to thrive in today's new economy, which is part of what we are doing here today. Our vision is audacious and yet community centers. So our vision is simply to be a community of confident, resilient, and forward-thinking youths who shape a brighter future, and of course, in Nigeria and elsewhere in the world. Our vision, our mission is simply we're on a mission to connect, inspire, and equip young individuals with the skills, knowledge, and mindset necessary to strive in a dynamic world as we have it today. And since 2022, we've done a couple of things that have translated to real life impact. Since 2022, we have engaged both in physical and online engagement over 500 young persons through mentorship programs and, of course, webinars and seminars. We have also reached 100 plus students. We have guided 100 plus students on, academic and job opportunities across board. And over the years, we've also ensured that 180 plus mentees actively engage and linked to mentors across different career tracks, because part of what we do is that in as much as we understand that we are not subject matter experts. So sometimes when we discover where a young person fits in, we try to link the person up to the professional who is already doing what that young person want to do. So we've done that at scale, and of course we have engaged 10 plus expert speakers and global professionals on our programs. Yeah, several times we've had professionals from UK, from the US civil service join us. We have also had individuals from, across the world, France, featuring our programs. And we have had multiple outreach programs across schools and communities in Nigeria. And of course, we have a growing community. And all of these efforts, we are not solo efforts. And of course, anybody who knows what we do here, you understand that we have a strong belief that nothing of worthwhile value, nothing of value is ever achieved by solo effort. And we have a team, a dynamic team of young persons, who play different roles at the back end to ensure that things are up and running here in Future-Proof Mentorship Initiative. We have Esther Joshua, who is our colleague. We have 𝑦𝒕𝒂𝒓𝒄𝒉, who sees to our PR and management. And of course, if you have ever seen our webinars advertised on your campus TV or any of some of those advertorial platforms, Orwell is the one behind them. Oluchi sees to our social media strategy and all of that. 𝒂𝒓𝒄𝒌 is in charge of our content and communication. All of those strategic communication, he sees to all of them. And by the way, Abel is a professional, research writer and data analyst. He's the man for the job in terms of, PhD, undergrad, masters, research writings. He's your man for it. And of course, lastly, we have the person behind our branding. As you well know, we are a growing brand. So he sees our brand designs and several other things in between. And he is an owner of a freelancing outfit, and he's good at what he does around freelancing and designs. Okay, so I can see on the backstage our expert for today, but I can't just bring him up stage. I'll have to let us know who he is. And here we have Mr. Chukwudi Nwachukwu, who is a strategic finance professional and with over 7 years of experience across the haulage, hospitality, FMCG, distribution, and agricultural sectors. A graduate of accounting and a student member of both the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICANN, and the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, CIS. Mr. Chukwudi combines strong technical expertise with commitment to building efficient and accountable financial systems. Chukwudi has served in several accounting roles and as head of finance, where he provided financial leadership in financial reporting, budgeting, bookkeeping systems, digital finance transformation, policy formulation, and process streamlining, strengthening governance, and supporting business growth. He currently works as an accounting and finance consultant, supporting organizations and growing businesses to establish strong financial structures and reporting systems. He is equally passionate about financial literacy and wealth creation. As an investment coach, he leads the hashtag Vision 1000 Invest Pro initiative, an ambitious vision to train and mentor 1,000 young professionals to master the investment landscape and leverage that knowledge to build wealth with purpose. He's driven by the belief that strong institutional systems and sound investment knowledge are essential foundations for long-term prosperity for organizations and individuals. Ladies and gentlemen on the call today across different platforms, would you join me? Make welcome in the comments, Mr. Chukwudi Nwachukwu, as I usher him into the call this morning. Yeah, so I'll stop sharing my screen now to let Mr. Chukwudi, come on board. So, Mr. Chukwudi, you can upload your slide so you're able to start sharing. So you're on the call right now. So please upload your slide so you're able to put it up. So click on the screen icon that has a plus on it. Click on the screen icon that has a plus on it, and then select your slide. And once you're good to go, you can take it from there. Confirm you can hear me, Mr. Chukwudi. Can you hear me? Mr. Chukwudi, can you hear me? Your mic is muted. Could you unmute, please? Your mic is on mute. So at the bottom, you're going to see the mute and unmute button.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. I hear you now, sir. Thank you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
All right.
All right. So do upload your slide on the screen icon at the bottom. Then we can take it off from there. And so, friends, if you're joining us across Facebook, across LinkedIn, across YouTube, do well to drop some comments on the chat box. So I'm already seeing some comments on the chat box. Thank you all. I see Miracle. I mean, that's our brand strategies. I see Shedrack. Shedrack, thank you for joining the call today. I understand that Shedrack is somewhere in Nigeria. Oluchi, thank you for joining the call. Yeah, streaming live from Southeast Nigeria. I see Crown French Institute. He said he's glad to be here. This is Victor. Victor is a French language professional. He's good at what he does also. And I see Miracle. Miracle, thank you. He said he's a student and a freelancer. Of course, watching right here in Nigeria, from Nigeria. Abel is watching on YouTube, and Abel is an academic researcher and data analyst. I mean, the guy knows his onions in what he does. So, and across Facebook and LinkedIn, please keep the feedbacks coming and keep sharing the links for those who are supposed to be here. So, Mr. Chukwudi, if your slide is ready, I will stop sharing so you can start sharing your slide and begin your session immediately. So we don't want to spend so much time here. Are you ready now? Are you ready, Mr. Chukwudi?
Uploading is still uploading.
Okay, it's still uploading.
It's still uploading.
Yes, it's still uploading. It's fine. So yeah. No problems at all. There's no issues at all. We understand how these things work. I mean, we are all in the same system. But again, I also want to say to our viewers this morning that here in Future-Proof Mentorship Initiative, in keeping with our community, commitment to democratize opportunities, we bring your way webinars, we bring your way events that speaks to real life issues around finance, around personal and professional development. So this is the place to be if you're looking for a community, a vibrant community to be part of, to foster your professional and your personal development goals. This is a community for you. So we are, as of today, we are over 200 young persons in a community where we seek to assist each other to achieve our goals and become the astute professionals we desire to become in a fast changing economic landscape. So, in the course of this call today, the team will be dropping the link to our WhatsApp community. So, once that link drops, do well to join the community. And of course, we look forward to seeing the energy and the commitment you're going to be making in our community. As a matter of fact, we strongly recommend that young professionals, and undergraduate students do take this opportunity to be part of the community because we have a lot of offerings. We have a lot of trainings, capacity buildings that we're sure is going to be of benefit to you all, in that community. So while we wait for Mr. Chooks to bring up his slide, we really would want to
All
have
right.
you share all of this. Yeah. So I see if
I see you
Nayan
on the
Okonkwo.
slide.
Okay. Are you ready now? I can't see your slide yet. I can't see it
Oh,
on
it's
the bottom.
uploaded. But
Yeah, so click on it and see if it's ready to share. Click on it and see. So, what do you see on your end, Mr. Chicks? What
yeah,
do you see?
it's on that window. It's not very.
Okay, let me stop sharing now.
It has uploaded, but I think it's all right.
So, I hope we know what our topic of discussion today is, and of course, it's a very topical conversation today because we are in a fast changing financial landscape in Nigeria. Our topic of discussion today is a very timely one, in my opinion, because we've had stories of the real estate boom, the oil boom, that happened in many parts of the world. In fact, with the most recent being the crypto boom. But many of us missed out on that. But why we are bringing this is so that, oh, Mr. Chukwu, I've seen your slide. So yes, you're good. Thank you.
Okay.
Your slide is up right now. So I'll take up the ticker on the
Oh,
screen. So you now go ahead. Sorry, it was from my end. I didn't see it early. Right. So you have the floor now. Thank you, Mr. Chukwudi, once again for obliging
all
to
right.
teach us this.
Good morning, everyone. I thank you
So sorry, sir.
very
Could you
much.
be a bit
And
audible? We are struggling to make out what you're saying. Could you please speak up a bit? Thank you.
Can you, is it better now?
Loud and clear, sir. Thank you. Yes, yes. Very
all
clear
right.
now.
So, good morning, everyone. Good morning this time, Emeka and the team at
Sorry, the
Future
voice comes and
Mentorship.
goes. The voice comes and goes. The voice comes and goes. So is there a way you can make it stable?
Wow.
All right. So So just go ahead, sir. So while fixing that, go ahead and just begin your presentation.
Okay. Um, so thank you everyone for having me. Thank you, Mr. Maker, and thank you to the team at Future-Proof Initiative. All right. So my name is Mr. Chukwudi. I think Mr. Maker has introduced. Is it better now? My audio is it better? Please let me know. Hello.
Yeah, so I was saying we can't hear you clearly yet. Okay, so you might consider unplugging your microphone and using your
Okay.
PC
So as
microphone.
I was
That could
saying,
be
my name is
better.
Mr. Chukwudi, and
Did you hear me?
I'm an accounting and finance professional. I've worked
So
for more than 7 years accounting and finance industry, helping businesses structure their accounting department and processes and function. I also, like Mr. Mika read out in the introduction, I, I have a passion for investment, and I teach about investment in the stock market, or generally the capital market. And I've been doing that for about 3 to 4 years now. Right, so it's a privilege to be here to share a piece of my knowledge with you, and most importantly, to inspire you to become an investor. That's my goal. It's not just to educate you. But I know that some of the things I'm going to be saying here, uh, you can find it in some portals online. However, some of them may not be able to explain it and put it in the perspective I will do here in this call. So the goal is to inspire you, and I pray that you get inspired. So thank you again. Stock and money markets and the future. We want to look at a guide. I want to just provide a guide, knowledge base, and a guide for a beginner, for someone who wants to begin a journey in the capital markets. All right. So I'm going to be saying a lot of things that you will not see in the slide. So if you have pen and paper, which is very advisable, um, make sure you write. All right. Okay. All right. So when I do this, the first place I like to begin is I try to introduce my audience to the concept of the time value of money. Um, okay, and the concept is a finance concept that businesses use for making decisions, and individuals also use for making investment decisions. Right? And so, what is the time value of money? What does it mean? Right? The time value of money as a concept or principle in finance is hinged on the idea that the money you have today is worth more than the same amount in the future. Right? Um, That's also from the popular proverb that says that the bird in hand is much more than the many in the bush, right? And that is based on the fact that the money you have today has potential earning capacity if it is invested. And that's also based on the fact that the impact of inflation can erode the value of the money if not invested. So the core principle of is a core principle of finance that drives investment decision by
Sorry to
organizations,
cut in,
right?
Mr. Chukwudi. Hello,
It
sir.
helps organizations to
Mr. Chukwudi,
decide where to put in
sorry
money.
to
It
cut
helps
in. Could you
organizations and individuals
unplug your.
to not see any money, any naira or dollar in your hand as it all, right? Because if it is not invested, it loses value. All right. So a dollar today is worth more than a dollar tomorrow. A naira today is worth more than a naira tomorrow. So more money has a time preference, right? And that's because like I said earlier, inflation has the ability to impact on the earning capacity, or rather the purchasing capacity of your fund, right? So if you do not invest the 1,000 naira you have in your pocket on your bank account today, if you do not invest in it, what is going to happen is that you you will lose the purchasing power of that money. And I'm going to show you with practical example and formula, right? Please confirm that you can still see my slide, okay? So I'm going to show you with a formula right after now. So why does it matter? It helps individuals and organizations to compare investment options, evaluate loans, plan for retirement, make decisions about when to spend and when to save, when to keep money, and when to release it, especially for investment, right? And there's a key formula in finance that is used to calculate or to represent the time value of money. Is one of them is called the future value formula, and you can see the formula on your screen. And I want to plead with you to take note of that, because why I do this is to help you, so that every money that comes into your hand, especially if your salary comes in at the end of this month, you should be able to use a current inflation rate, all right, annual inflation rate, to project what that salary will mean in 1 year time, or in 1 month time, or in 6 months time, what that money will mean in terms of its purchasing value. And that helps you to decide whether you should invest that money or just keep it in your bank account. All right. Okay, so how inflation erodes the value of your money. Inflation erodes the value of your money, which means that if you allow inflation to impact on your money, how does inflation impact on your money when you keep your money in the bank? All right, or you keep it in your pocket, you save it in the saving box at home, right, and you just leave it there and you are smiling and you're happy about it, all right, that you have something, right, and you don't invest it, inflation will happen, especially in an economy um, like Nigeria or across Africa. Of course, there are inflations everywhere in the world, but then the scale is different, right? Um, the last calculation I did, the annual inflation rate in the past 5 years has been between 10 to 12% or 15%. That's massive, right? It means that if you keep your money on a yearly basis, the purchasing value is going to be eroded by 10 to 15%. So inflation rate is the rate at which the general price level of goods and services rises over time, eroding the purchasing power of your money. And if you know what purchasing power means, it means the ability of your money to actually buy goods and services. All right, it affects the number of units of goods and services that your money can buy. Now, savings lose real value if interest rate lag inflation. What it means is that if you save money in the bank and the interest rate that the bank is going to, at which the bank will pay you interest, if it is below inflation rate, the value of your savings is lost, because it means that you're saving. in investment perspective is underperforming. It's underperforming because it is underperforming below the rate of inflation. So for example, if inflation is at 10% and the bank gives you 3 to 5% interest on your savings of 100 to 50,000 naira, of course you are losing the value of your money because the interest rate the bank is giving to you cannot beat inflation. So cost of living rises, right? Your whatever is your salary today, right, buys less each year because of rising inflation. So it affects the power of his income earner. So if your salary has been 100,000 for the past 3 months, you know what it means, right? With the Middle East crisis that is impacting on oil prices all over the world, and unfortunately, it's also impacting on the general price of goods and services in Nigeria. You know that, like, the richest man in Africa recently said that Nigerians may be forced to work from home because they may not be able to afford, right, cost of transportation, right? So if you look at this slide, purchasing power of 100 naira over time, if we assume a 20% annual inflation rate, the first 0 year, you see, you still have your 100 naira, but by year one, when the inflation rate impacts on it, that purchasing power reduces. The purchasing power of 100 naira reduces to 82 naira, and then to 67 naira year two, and then 55, 45, and 37 naira year five. But I'm going to explain what it means. It means that it's the same 100 naira, but it does not have the same value, all right, as inflation impacts on it. Right. So the next slide, it shows you where we apply the calculation of the future value, right? To use it to show you how the value of 1,000 naira is eroded over a period of 5 years. So this is a table, and I'm just going to explain it. So uh, year zero means now you still have 1,000 naira, and then when we do the discount factor and using the inflation rate of 8%, all right, and you still have your 1,000 naira now. But in a year, after 1 year, all right, uh, the purchasing power reduces to 925 naira 93 kobo. What it means is that what your 1,000 naira can buy, what it means is that what your 1,000 naira can buy today. Please confirm if you can hear me.
Mr. Chukwudi, I think, can you hear me? Hello, Mr. Chukwudi, can you hear me?
Oh,
I believe that the audience can hear me, but you can't hear me. So,
is it still low?
yeah, could you unplug your microphone and see what happens if it gets better? Please check. Unplug it and then continue. I mean, it was coming up, it was a lot more better than it was at the beginning. Go ahead now.
Let's see
Thank you.
if
So just let's do a quick test.
it's better now.
Yeah, just go ahead, sir.
Hello, is it better now?
Yes, it's better now. It's better. Just go ahead, sir.
All right. Please confirm if it's better. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah,
So make up
we
this
can
call
hear you,
coming
Mr.
in
Chukwudi.
my
Go ahead, please. Can we say in the comment? Just check in the comment. We can hear you, but it's quite low. But go ahead. Can you hear me?
hello.
Oh Jesus. Oh my God. Hello, everyone. We seem to have lost Mr. Chicks for a while, but I want to plead with you to just let's be patient with him. And of course, you understand how technology works in this part of the world is just so unreliable. So please do well to just give us a few moments while we sort out the technical issues. So, and again, while you're here, I believe that he's not even gotten to the meat of the matter. So do well to take the link and share with the community, and let's all grow, learn and grow together.
And then you divide the design to different parts, and you give it to investors who invest in your company by buying shares, right? that company. Those investors are called shareholders of that company. The shares entitle you or the shareholder to dividends and capital gains if the price of the share appreciates. So if you buy the share of MTN, for example, it makes you a part owner of MTN. So you are not only a consumer of MTN by you're not just a customer of MTN and a consumer of MTN product, but you become a part owner of MTN, and that feels good, right? And it entices to use to what is called dividends. So what is dividend? Dividends is the part of the profit that MTN, the company, decide to share with its shareholders, all right, as a way of rewarding them for trusting them to use their money to fund operations and provide goods and or services, right, to their customers. Another way you profit is through what is called capital gain. So capital gain happens when the price of the share appreciates. You are said to have capital gain. So for example, if you buy MTN share at 5 naira today and after a month it's now 10 naira, the capital gain is 5 naira, which is the difference between the purchase price of the share and then the current price, right? If the share depreciates in value, it's not capital gain, it's called capital loss, right? And so another thing is that buying a share in a company gives you a voting right that is proportional to the number of shares you have. If you have watched shows like Lions Den, these investor pitching shows where the investors will say, okay, I'm going to give you 20, say to the the entrepreneurs who are pitching their business and say, okay, I will give you 20 million naira for a 10% of your company. That means a 10% of the equity. That 10% actually is a proportion of the total share of the organization that that investor wants. And when it is done, when the deal is done, it empowers that investor to have a voting right, all right, at the annual general meeting, all right, to decide on key issues about the company. Issues like to decide whether dividends should be paid or not. You know, it's the shareholders that will decide whether dividends should be paid or not and at what rate, right? If you are conversant with the stock market recently, you know that in a few weeks time, I mean, I'm sorry, a few weeks back rather, the Dangote Cement declared a dividend of about 45 naira per share. That's one of the highest in the market, 45 naira per share. So it means that if you have um, 50% share of Dangote and then they declared 20 million share, you have 45% of it. All right, sorry, you have 50% of it, all right? That gives you 50% of that dividend that is declared. So it's powerful. It gives you that right to even make decisions, right? The next thing is stock. So these are three words or concept that means the same thing, but slightly they differ. And so that's why I brought it to give you the key distinction. So a stock is just a broader term for the ownership certificate of any company, and stock is often used interchangeably with shares. But the slight difference is that it refers more generally to the shares of company traded in the stock exchange, right? So let me say the stock exchange here is the market where stock is traded. So every commodity has a market, right? Every commodity where that we buy has a market. And the market is a place where buyers come to buy from sellers. And the marketplace where you buy shares from, buy stocks of company, is called the stock exchange. And the stock exchange is a place where you can buy the shares of publicly traded companies. And it's important you know that publicly traded companies are companies that have decided their shares can be traded by the public. They differ from private companies. For private companies, their shares cannot be traded, all right, by the public. It is done through what is called private placement, all right. It means that if a shareholder in a private company, you as a shareholder in a private company wants to sell your share, you will have to meet a co-shareholder in that company, right, according to the Company and Like Matters Act regulation, to sell your share, or you have to and if any of them probably doesn't want to buy your share, you have to go look for someone, but you cannot trade it publicly. You cannot put it on the stock exchange and allow the public to place a bet on it, right? That's the difference. So when you talk about stock, you are referring generally to shares that are traded in the stock exchange, right? So what is equity? Equity represents the residual interest in a company after all liabilities are deducted, right? Um, so in accounting, there's what's called an accounting equation, which says assets is equals to liability plus capital. Capital is another word for equity. All right. So equity is used to represent the finance of an organization that was supplied by shareholders. That's what equity is. So when you hear a potential investor saying, I want 50% of your equity, they're saying, I want to have 50% of the capital owned by the shareholders. All right, that's what equity is. So it represents the capital that is owned by shareholders, and you can get it. You can use a formula, the accounting formula: asset is equal to liability plus capital or equity. All right, and you can do the math there. All right. So and you see that work in the balance sheet. So shareholders' equity reflects the true net worth owned by the investors, right? So the next is, who are the players in the Nigerian stock market? So if you're new in Nigerian stock market, what happens? Who are the people in the stock market, right? And the first is what we call the NGX, which is a short form of Nigeria Exchange Group, right? Is a security exchange, like I said, is the market that provides a platform for trading shares, bonds, and ETFs. ETFs, equity traded funds, and set the rules and ensures that there's market integrity, right? So you don't get to the market and you buy shares, and then you can't see your share, and then you're chasing the company to give you your shares and all that. So that's NGX is one of the key players in the Nigerian stock market. Next is stockbrokers and dealing members. These are licensed professionals or companies that execute to buy and sell orders on behalf of, I mean, on your behalf, right, on the floor or electronic platform of NGX. Of course, you you should know that you can stay from the comfort of your home and buy the share of any company you want to buy anywhere in the world. You can buy the share of MTN, you can buy the share of Dangote Cement, Boa Cement, Zenith Bank, GTCO, all right? And the stockbrokers are like the bankers that are intermediaries between you and the companies offering the shares, right? So you have to register with the stockbroker for you to be able to buy shares, because they are the one that execute your order. So if you place a buy order, they take that order, execute it, and buy for you. If you place a sell order, they take that order, execute it, and sell your shares for you, right? And the next key player is what they call the Central Securities Clearing System, CSCS, right? Is a central depository that electronically holds and clears and settles share transactions. It's a system that replaced the old paper certificate system. If you know the history of investment in share, you know that there was a time where investors were issued what they call share certificate, and it's a paper. And so, for every share you buy, you have a certificate, and you can file those certificates in your house. Just keep them in your house, right? And so this system actually replaces, so you don't have a paper certificate, but this system um, holds the depository of all the shares, right, that investors trade in the stock market, and they ensure that the share is safe, and it can be cleared and it can be settled, right, anytime you place a buy or sell order. And this system issues what they call a clearinghouse number, which is called CHN. And that number is like a unique bank account number for you as an investor when you register with a stockbroker, right? They have the CSCS number and the CHN number. And with that, you can buy shares of any company across different companies, across different companies in the stock exchange, right? The next is the Securities and Exchange Commission, which is the umbrella body, regulatory body that supervises everything that happens in the capital market. All right. At this point, let me note that the capital market is different from the stock market. The capital market is the market for trading capital. And capital is in two forms. It's either it comes in form of share, equity, or debt. That's loan, borrowing, right? So the Nigerian capital market is a place where capital is traded. People who need capital to invest in their businesses come to the Nigerian capital and buy capital. Listen, buy for capital. And people who can supply the capital, which is you and I, for example, as investors, you supply the capital, all right? Um, Depending on the form of that transactions, right? And so the SEC ensures that investors are protected and ensures that the market is efficient and, of course, ensures transparency and integrity in the market. The quoted companies are the companies I just referred to, Dangote, MTN, Zenith Bank. These are the publicly listed companies, right, in the stock market that you can buy. They are the one that issues the shares, right? For example, it has been in the news already that the Dangote refinery will soon IPO. IPO means do what is called initial public offering. They will offer their shares for public to be able to buy it. And right, the process is already ongoing. I think they are doing what they call book valuation. Currently, they have appointed some investment banks, right, to do prospecting and all that. So, as a potential investor, you just be on the lookout because you have opportunity to buy Dangote refinery shares, right? So it's going to be listed. It's going to be a publicly listed company very soon. That's what it means. It's going to be one of the quoted companies. A quoted company is a company whose share can be traded publicly on the stock market, right? And the next key player, investors, retail and institutional investors. Retail investors, yourself, myself, right? We're retail investors because we don't have the institutional muscle of institutional investors, right, to buy shares. An institutional investor can buy a share with 100 million naira, right? But you may not have that money. That makes you a retail investor. You buy in smaller unit, but for them they can buy in large quantity. Right? Individuals, pension funds, insurance company. So you know that pension funds actually invest the funds in the stock market. Also, insurance companies they do the same, and foreign portfolio investors that buy and sell securities to grow their wealth. Right? Okay. All right. So the next is, how do you become a shareholder in Nigerian stock market? Number one, you have to get a valid ID and BVN. It's important, right? Some of you may already be a shareholder, but for those who are newbies who don't know how it works, so this information will help you. You need your BVN, right? And then you need to choose a licensed stockbroker, must be licensed by the SEC, that means Security and Exchange Commission, must be licensed. So you don't just see a stockbroker and say, okay, and I want to buy a share, I want you to be my stockbroker, right? You must be licensed. And that's why you must be guided. You open a brokerage account, which is like bank accounts with the stockbroker, and then you register with the CSC to get what is called the clearinghouse number. I mentioned it, which is a unique ID, or like I call it, an account number for an investor. And then you can place your order. You can buy share. You can decide to buy MTN. You can buy Airtel. You can buy any of the companies of your choice, right? Depending on the value you place on them, and then you monitor and manage your portfolio. It's as simple as that. And let me add that you can buy shares from the comfort of your home, right? Anywhere you are, you can buy shares from the comfort of your home, because it has been democratized. Like Mr. Maker used the concept of democratization. So different fintech platforms now, you have like True, Bamboo, Cowrywise, Meristem, Chaka. These are different apps that you can use to make purchases of any share you want to buy anywhere, right? So probably during the question and answer, we can explain more on that. All right. In the last webinar we did, I shared this slide as a way of giving you a snapshot of what has happened in the stock market between 2023 and 2025 for a selected company. These companies you are seeing, what you're seeing is the performance of the shares between 2023 and 2025. Gerebu Power Plant Power PLC, the company that the investor and billionaire investor Femi Otudela once had shares before he sold it, I think last year, right? Performed about more than 666% between, excuse me, 2023 and 2025, right? So what it means that as at December 2023, the share of that company was selling at 149 naira, but at December 2025, as at December 2025, the share has appreciated to 1,141 naira 50 kobo. That signaled more than 600%. And you know what it means is that if you had invested 100,000 naira as of December 2023, by December 2025, your 100,000 would have been worth 766,100. That's a massive return. And it beats the inflation rate actually that was oscillating between 10 to 12%, right? I said it that I said that earlier, right? And then the GTCO as well performed more than 400%. Seplat performed more than 658%. Dangote Cement 210%. Access Holding 147%. Zenith Bank 283%. I mean, these are real data. These are not speculations. This is not um, just calculations. This from the stock market, right? Okay, and then the next, I also showed a performance of the stock exchange. I think with around um, like 10 months in the year 2025. This is not even up to a year, right? And I pulled this from Calvary Wise, the source is Calvary Wise. As at 11th of December, of September 2025, these were the best performing stock in the Nigerian stock exchange, the Nigerian stock market. All right, you see them, and it's showing if you had invested 100,000 in January 2025, this would have been the value, or if you had invested a million naira in January 2025, this would also be the value of that share at the same as September 11, 2025, right? Less than 12 months. Better Glass PSC performed at 648.85%. And so your 100,000 at the beginning of the year would have become 748,000 naira. Your 1 million would have been 7.4 million. And same thing for mutual, almost the same thing for mutual benefit assurance, the Initiate PLC, Champion Breweries. These were company ABC Transport Company. For those of you who come from the East, you should know ABC Transport Company. All right. Not very popular, but then look at it, 266%, right? Vital Foam, you should know Vital Foam, not very popular as well, right? Compared to blue chip companies like MTN, Dangote Cement, but then you see Vital Foam doing massively 241 point something percent, right? Yeah, and this shows you that the stock market can be really profitable, can be profitable. And I'm talking about the capital gain here. I'm not even talking about dividends. Remember, I said there are two ways you can gain from the stock market: capital gain and dividend. Dividend is the profit share of the profit that the company decide to pay you as a shareholder. And some companies then declare dividend twice a year, some of them once a year. Some of them that are very some can even do dividend quarterly. Depends on the decision of the company, right? They pay you dividend, right? The next way you can earn from the stock exchange is what is called the capital gain, and this is what I'm showing you. The capital gain is, remember I said, it's the appreciation in the value or the price of the share you bought. So if you bought at 5 naira, all right, remember the last slide, if you had bought Gerebu Power PLC at 145, and then it's now 1,000, excuse me, it's now more than 1,000. Excuse me. That's appreciation. It means that the share has appreciated, right? And that's capital gain. And so what it means is that even with your capital gain, you can also receive dividends. For companies that pays dividend, well, there are some companies that don't pay dividend. Let me tell you that depending on the decision of the company, some company can come to the shareholders and say, we are proposing to reinvest our profit because we have an investment opportunity. And the shareholders, if they agree, because the effect of that is that if the profit is reinvested and then that investment becomes profitable, it's going to shoot up the capital gain. I mean, the value of the share, and then that's it's going to make the shareholders also have more capital gain, right? For companies that pay dividend, they pay dividend. For those who decide not to pay dividend, and that's why you also need to analyze the market very well to make your decision, make an informed decision. Do you want to invest in companies that pay dividends, which would mean that you need regular income once a year or twice a year or quarterly, as the case may be, depending on what the company decides? Or you just want to invest in a company that their share will appreciate. You really don't care about the dividend, whether it comes or not, right? So that's the decision also to make based on the analysis. All right, so the next is the Nigerian money market. So what's the Nigerian money market? So the money market is a segment of the financial market, the capital market, where short-term financial instruments or securities are traded. They are short-term because they typically mature within 1 year or less than 1 year. All right, and they are generally in form of loans or debt, right? And it provides liquidity to business, that means money to business and government, while offering low risk short-term investment opportunity to investors. The risks are low, right? And then in the short term, it's within 1 year. Sometimes some of them are between 30 days to about 363, 364 days, depending on the maturity period that the issuing organization decide. So the key characteristics, like I said, they are short term, right, between 0 to 12 months, right. High liquidity, all right. Investment can quickly be converted to cash, right. Liquidity means that, of course, it's not something you would struggle to look for a buyer, right. So it's highly liquid. The risks are low because most of them are backed by the federal government or issued by highly credit-worthy institutions, and then the returns are also lower compared to very long-term capital market instruments. Why are they lower? Because the lower your risks, the lower the return. The higher the risks, the higher the return. That's a concept in finance, actually, right? So if your risk appetite is low, you go for low risk instrument or investment, and you should be ready for low risk return. If your risk appetite is high, you go for high risk instrument or investment vehicles, and your return can be high if it performs well. If it performs well, right? So, like I also talked about the players in the stock exchange market, these are key players in the money market: CBN, the deposit money banks, as UBA, Zenith Bank, the federal government, um, and then the finance houses. These kind of houses, they act as market makers. They buy and sell short-term instruments. Institutional investors as well. And then there are different profitable instruments that you can have in the money market. Number one is treasury bills. This is issued on behalf of the federal government the by the CBN. You should have known, if you follow the capital markets or financial news, actually, that recently the CBN has been issuing treasury bills, right, on behalf of the federal. It's a short-term security. It's a way of the federal government seeking to borrow money from you and I, the citizen, and they can borrow that money for 91 days, 182 days, 364, 363 days as well. All right. It is one of the instruments in the money market that we advise beginners to begin with, because it is almost risk free. Why is it almost risk free? It is backed by the federal government. It is believed that the federal government will not fail. So if you lend federal government your 100,000 naira, they will pay you back at the maturity period, at the end of the maturity, at the maturity, right? Then commercial papers are loans now issued by corporations, companies. Treasury bill is a loan from the government. Commercial paper is a loan from companies. Then you have what's called bankers acceptance, certificates of deposit, and fixed term note as well. These are another very important um, money market instrument. All right, fixed term notes are investment debt securities where a specific amount of money is deposited with a financial institution for a set period of time, which is called tenor, at a guaranteed predetermined interest rate. So, which means it's same thing with the treasury bill, all right, and even the commercial papers, all right. Um, there is a predetermined interest rate. This is why the treasury bill and fixed term notes are very good place for you to begin as a beginner. Is because you will not have issues of whether the interest rate is fluctuating. When they tell you we are going to pay you back your 100,000 at 16%, it is going to be at 16% at the end of the period. It's not going to change. Nobody's going to say, "Oh, sorry, something has happened." All right, it's fixed. That's why the rate is predetermined, and it's a good place to begin. And then um, there are apps too. There are applications where you can do that. You can buy fixed term notes, you can buy treasury bills from different apps like iInvest, like Cowrywise, Veristem platform, Afri Investor platform. These are different platforms where you can do that, right? So I want to play this video, and I want you to listen and to this man called NTO, what he's saying, because this is about your financial attitude as a young professional. So please listen and then continue after the video.
Okay,
Say,
Mr. Chukwudi,
because this is
can you hear
about
me?
your financial attitude as a young professional. So please listen and then continue.
Can you hear me? I can't see the video.
Okay. Say,
Mr. Chukwudi,
because this is
can you
about
hear me?
your financial attitude.
Yeah, I want to see the video. I haven't seen the
Can you
video.
hear me? I can't see the video. Okay. See, Mr. Charles, can you hear me? Financial
Yeah, I want to see the video. I haven't seen the
Can you
video.
hear me? I can't see the video. Okay. See, Mr. Charles, can you hear me? Financial
I'm sure he cannot hear me,
I
so
want to see the
it's
video.
fine. I'm sure Mr. Chukwudi cannot hear me, so uh, I don't know why. I don't know why. But all right, friends. Why that lasts? Sincere apologies for some of the technical glitches we are experiencing. Still, I want to believe that if your mind is in it, you would have gotten caught some things that uh, is going to inform your research after this webinar. So I understand that there are technical glitches from several ends. So let's just stay put as we try to resolve this. So we can see his screen, and I'm not sure he can hear me. Yeah, thank you.
Sorry, I've just been told that you were not seeing the video. Can you see my slide? Look, please confirm if you can see. you see it now? Oh, serious. This is serious. So let me refresh.
All right, friends. While we try to solve that problem, I just want to appreciate us for being here and to also let you know that based on all I've learned here, anybody can invest in the stock market, no matter your income stage, income level, where you are at the moment. And what usually happens in this kind of situations is we all believe that this whole thing is only for those who are already in the multi-million, multi-billion financial ladder, but that's not the case. If you could just work with what has been shared this morning to go do your research, I'm sure that you're gonna learn so much. And of course, if you practice it, you'll be happy that you did.
Please
In
come
fact,
again,
one of the
please.
inspirations behind this seminar was so, Mr. Chukwudi, are you ready now? Can you hear me now? Mr. Chukwudi, can you hear me? I can hear you, but I'm not sure you can hear me. All right. So while he tried to sort that out, so I watched a clip where the CEO of Rain Oil. Rain Oil is one of the leading oil companies in Nigeria. So the guy was sharing how that the man was sharing how that in one occasion he got a deal to supply petrol thereabout. I think to buy a full tank of petrol or thereabout. Said that he needed some money to complete, the payment for that, petroleum product. Then he didn't have complete money. He had to go pull up his investment stock investment portfolio, and he discovered that he had money scattered across his portfolio in different organizations. He had to pull up the dividend, gather all the dividends, about 20 something of them, and he was able to complete the money he needed to make that payment. In a time like this, when there's a lot of pressure on our financial sources. The best way I advise anybody, no matter the business you're doing, no matter where you are, is to go for blended financing of whatever you're doing. You don't have to insist on one funding source. Whether you are doing anything around education, around any innovation, any business whatsoever, don't fixate on a single source of funding, because it is true that, as we will get to understand in this webinar, that there are also risks associated with the stock market, but we shouldn't let that stop us from trying our hands on it, starting at an early stage, starting dirty, doing it afraid, and of course getting better at it. So this is also an option to be explored as far as blended financing is concerned. Blended financing for the purpose of funding your dreams, raising funds for projects, for ideas, and even for your passion project. Okay. So I just would really want to say that this may not be all encompassing. It may not be totally comprehensive as we had wanted it to be, but let this be a head start on research, on going on to seek further knowledge, to get started in the whole stock and financial market ecosystem. Mr. Chukwudi, are you ready right now? Are you ready to continue? Maybe I just leave the video and go ahead with your slide, because your slide was moving on very well. We are seeing everything. You can actually drop the video for us to share with the community afterwards. So because we are running against time, we had a time slot for this.
Can you hear me now? Please just let me.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Sorry
We
about
can hear
that.
you. Yeah, so you can
Okay.
resume
So
when you speak.
I wanted to play a video.
Super clear. Super clear.
Yeah, I wanted to play a video. I wanted to play a video, but then I think it's network from my end, right? But I will send the file. If you notice, I prepared this file for future proof. You can just I'll send the PDF, and you would probably be able to just go through it again, and then talk about
That
others
would be that would be
during question and
super
answer. All
awesome.
right. So,
That would be super awesome. Thank you.
okay, so building future wealth, the financial activities for young professionals, you need to adopt. When you watch the video, you maybe I'll also share the link of the video with Mr. Maker. Right,
So
it's you can find
we
it on
can't see his
Instagram.
slide anymore,
Adopt it.
Mr. Okay.
Is that hello?
Go ahead, sir.
I can
Go
hear
ahead.
you.
Go ahead.
All
We
right.
can
So
hear
adopt
and
a
see
saving
you.
first mind. So you need to decide. So this is what I tell people. This is about auditing your life. People say save money, but it's difficult to save if you have not audited your life. You need to first of all ask yourself, what kind of life do you want to live? Right? There are two types of life. Do you need to appear rich or you need to become rich? You must decide, because what most Africans are doing, Nigerians particularly doing, is that we want to fund a rich lifestyle. That means we want to look rich, we want to appear rich. If you be able to discipline yourself and tell yourself that what you want is to be wealthy, right? That means have the kind of money that will give you financial freedom, that free up your time to live the kind of life you believe you're created to live, right? Then you don't need to put yourself under the pressure or the anxiety of appearing rich. Then you'll be able to save money. That's the only way you'll be able to save money. And that's a powerful psychology of saving. You don't just save. So even if you're earning 200,000 naira and you've not dealt with this attitude of lifestyle issue, you've not decided on what you are going to do with your life, I tell you, you can't save. You will not be able to save, right? Then get financially educated. Webinars like these, join investment clubs, right? Start small and start now, right? You can start small. You can buy a share in the Nigerian Stock Exchange with as little as 500 naira. Yes, just start by opening a stockbroking account, right? You can diversify across assets classes, right? It's one of the things I teach in the investment club. I tell people how to diversify your investment between the investing in equity, money market, real estate, and others based on the opportunities that we analyze and we see that it's profitable. Thinking long term, right? Don't don't be a panic investor. Don't be a panic investor, right? You want to buy because people are buying, you want to sell because people are selling. You must be a long-term investor. Warren Buffett once said that the stock market is a place that rewards the patient, or rather where money or return or reward or value moves from the impatient to the patient. So you must be a patient investor. Learn to reinvest your dividends or your returns, right? It's when you watch that video, you realize one of the things NTO was saying is that you harvest the fruit, which is your salary. You take the seed, take a seed out of it and plant. The growth become a tree. You harvest the fruit, replant the seed as well. Right, that's how you build wealth consistently, and we'll teach that also in investment club. All right, track and then review your portfolio regularly based on the knowledge you have, and advice from investment expert as well. And then you seek professional guidance, right? That's important, right? And so the next is I'm introducing you to the investment club, right? That's It's part of what Mr. Maker talked about during the introduction. All right, that investment club is exclusive for people who are willing to discipline themselves to become reinvestors. And to be a member of the club is just to subscribe with 3,000 naira per quarter, and you'll be a member of the club. It's a place where we review the market, we analyze the market, we do company analysis, and then we do expert stock investment recommendations. There are recommendations, and then you'll be able to know when to buy, when to sell, to enter the market and to exit the market. All right. A money market rate and updates and opportunities as well. You have clear guides on how to navigate the market. Right. This webinar is just to give you fundamentals. All right, to let you also know that it is profitable to be in the capital market. You have exclusive members only webinars and Q&A sessions as well, and community analysis of investment opportunities with fellow investors. Right? That's what you have in that club, right? So I'm expecting you to join that club to know more. All right, so thank you so much for the opportunity to share with you these few concepts about investments in the capital market, the stock exchange market, and then the money market. Disclaimer, this is not an investment or financial advice. It's all the information you have here. They are all for education purpose. And thank you for having me. So over to you, Mr. Maker.
All right, Mr. Chukwudi, thank you so very much for that informative one. Thank you very much, because these are information that are considered to be the exclusive reserve of some persons who are already millionaires and billionaires in dollars. So, but here we have this at a bite size where we're able to start with. So thank you again for that. And you said something striking, the fact that we can start stock investing with as low as 500 naira to 1,000 naira, and that's super amazing. So the fact that I don't need to be a billionaire to start investing in stock for the next generation that are coming after me. So right about now, we just want to open the floor for questions and answers. I'll be looking at the chat boxes for comment and question from across platforms. So I'm seeing a question here that's asking about bamboo. So Mr. Chukwudi, I'll add you back on screen on the stage. So they have a question here about bamboo. What do you have to say about that? There's a question about bamboo. I believe the person is referring to bamboo investment app. What is about it? Can you still hear me?
Yeah. Yes, I can hear you. Please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
All right. So Bamboo is one of the investment app. Like I mentioned Bamboo. If you heard me, I mentioned Bamboo. I mentioned Cowrywise. I mentioned the Afro Investor. I mentioned 𝑴𝒂𝒓𝒄𝒉. I mentioned Chaka. There are lots of them. They are good investment app, right? You can use any of them. So in the investment club, we have the ones that I recommend. We don't use all of them, right? Because I've mastered these ones, and they provide good opportunities for investors, right? So you can use any of them. Bamboo is a good one, right? You're muted, Mr. Maker. In case
I was muted. So sorry about that. So I was asking concerning the advisable timeline for investment. Assuming a young person wants to build wealth, right, for the long term, what timeline do you advise that the person builds that wealth to at least have enough dividends and capital gains? I understand that these are insider questions in the hub, but you could just give us a foretaste of what it looks like in the hub. Thank you.
All right. So 3 to 5 years is it's a good it's a good period for a beginner, right? Like I said, you think long term. I don't advise you to buy MTN share today and then go back tomorrow to check it, and then next tomorrow to check it, and then the next day to check it, and to see if it's growing. That's speculation. That's trading actually. That's not investment. And let me mention, there's a difference between trading and investment. When you're trading, you are looking at the charts and you are looking at the market every day. You want to see the movement and be sure it's moving upward. But if you invest, you have done your fundamental analysis, and it's one of the things we do in that book, right? You analyze the company to know if this is going to be a growth company or not. And then when we discovered from analysis that it's going to be a growth company, we stake, all right, on that company. We put our investment and we go to sleep. Why do we go to sleep? This is actually the idea of allowing your money work for you. You go to sleep. Why you go to sleep? Because from analysis has showed us that this company is worth investing. It's a valuable company. Well, it's just like somebody coming to your village, my friends, and saying, I'm going to build a company that will supply light. And every villager will buy into that. They will bring in their money to buy into that. They will supply light at a cheap rate. Why would you invest in that type of company? Because there's market. The reason why there's market is because they are doing a great good for the villagers. And so the company is going to be profitable because there's market for it, right? So investment is like giving your money to a company that is doing a good in the society. And you're going to have return. So 3 to 5 years, so right, put in your money. But then it's not one of, again, let me add, it's not one of, because except you have a 5 million naira to diversify across different investments. But if you don't have, I can advise you, put up 5,000 naira every month, 10,000 naira every month, and be buying, be stockpiling. That's it. Be stockpiling of stock, and do that within 3 to 5 years and see what it becomes. Instead of keeping the 5,000 naira on a monthly basis in a commercial traditional bank, right? That's what I advise people to do, is stockpiling. And then if you have huge sum, let me say this. This is also supposed to be an insider information. If you have your 500,000 naira that you're going to use to pay your house rent in the next 12 months, please use it to buy treasury bill. I can tell you there's a treasury bill currently where you have 19% at the end of 12 months. Imagine you have 500,000 naira. Can you do that calculation for me, please, someone? 500,000 naira to pay your house rent in the next, by the end of the year, right? I mean, the next 12 months, by the end of 12 months, right? And you put it in a treasury bill that will give you 19% return at the end of 12 months. How much will be your gain? Do the computation for me. At the end of 12 months, it means you still have your 500,000 naira to pay your rent, but you have a gain. You have some money. It should be more than 50,000, about 60-something thousand naira, if you do your calculation well. Do you understand? So if you have a lump sum, big amount of money, 1 million naira, you want to use it to renew your house rent, please put it in a treasury bill. Put it in a fixed term note. That's how to be a wise investor. So don't just save your house rent. Did you hear me? Let me say this again. Don't just save your house rent. Put it somewhere it can work for you. However, also, if you have 5 million naira that you know that it's not tied to anything, it's not tied to school fees, it's not tied to house rent, well, when you come to the community, we'll tell you how to invest that 5 million naira. So you can actually invest it across different assets, right? There's a portfolio mix percentage we have, which we've advised investors to spread money like that across different classes of assets. Right? So to begin with, I said 3 to 5 years. If you don't have a lump sum between 5,000 to 10,000 every month, within 3 to 5 years, you are going to be shocked what's going to come out. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so very much, Mr. Chukwudi, for that clarity. So, and to not keep us here for a long time, Mr. Chukwudi, I will want to ask that you drop the link to your wait list on the WhatsApp on the comment section of the live stream, so that once you do that, it spreads across platforms. So just drop it on the comment section of this live stream, and of course drop it in my DM so that we can also put it from there onto the comment section, so that anybody who's watching this video after this live stream is able to also take advantage of that and get in there to be mentored on how to go about this. Because I tell people that mentorship reduces the learning curve. How do I mean, a better way to say that is that mentorship reduces shortens the curve, right? It makes it a lot more shorter, because now you're not starting from scratch, you're starting from someone's experience. So as a matter of next steps, I want to encourage that we accept this offer while it lasts. So Mr. Chooks will be dropping the link on the comment section. Please do well to jump on it. And with that, we bring this to a close. And I don't know why this thing acted the way it did. So we want to encourage you to keep in touch with us, because every month we have, timely, topical conversations on these platforms, on YouTube, on Facebook, and on LinkedIn. So you can do well to connect with us on these platforms at Future-Proof Mentorship Initiative, on YouTube, on Facebook, and on LinkedIn. So you can also write us for partnerships. I mean, for anything you want to do with us, maybe outreaches, any programs, or you want to volunteer with us, you want to join our team. I mean, you can always write us on this email. And while here, could you please scan this link to join our WhatsApp community, where we get to have conversations and have opportunities shared for individuals who stand in need of them. And again, thank you for being here today. Thank you, Mr. Chukwudi, for the walkthrough through the head starts into the stock market. I mean, regardless of the technical issues and the technical issues, we're able to do this today. So I want to encourage you. It's a very short video. It's about 30 minutes, 45 minutes thereabout. Aside the technical glitches, you can always go back, revisit this, and of course, do well to join the community where Mr. Chooks mentors people on stock investing. I believe that a wise man said that wealth is built in communities. And I want to encourage you in your 20s. Some of the best things you need to do to yourself is to be part of a community and be in a community where you're going to build wealth. With that, we say, all of us at Future-Proof Mentorship Initiative, we are saying big thanks for always being with us, for always catching up on our videos. And until we meet again, bye for now. So the month of April, we also have something coming up for you, just for you. So do well to share this clip for anybody who needs it. Go over the slide, pause and play at will until you've gotten the head start on what we are discussing. So again, let me put this up, that do well to join Mr. Chukwudi's mentorship cycle for for stock investing. Do have a great Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, of your morning. Thank you.